And we're live.
Thanks, Jim. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I look so forward to this every week, I have to tell you. It's just so much fun to connect with everybody, to read all the comments afterward. And I look at who's liked the program. I read all the names. So grateful. Whatever platform you're watching on, we're on a bunch of them. So grateful for you guys spending some time with us over your lunch break if you're on the West Coast, or mid-afternoon if you're on the East Coast, or whatever time zone you're in all around the world. We've got people tuning in afterwards. A lot of artisans around the world that get so psyched seeing everybody's comments. So please join Jen in the chat, where we're doing giveaways, as always. $50 gift certificates. It's not nothing. And they're beautiful and very be giftable too. So yeah, $50 on Novica buys you a lot, because everything's artisan direct. So awesome prices, and awesome prices for the artists too. And also some beautiful Novica t-shirts. So all you got to do is join Jenna in the chat, and she'll let you know if you're one of the random winners today. So we would love you to be our ambassadors out in the world and tell everybody you know about Novica. It's shopping season for sure. This is the fourth quarter of the year when our artisans rely on their sales for most of the rest of the year. This is when all their income comes in, and they are working fast and furiously to make gorgeous things for holiday gifting. And so please, let's support our artisans. And we're all fair trade, as all of our customers watching already know. But spread the love and send a share to a couple people you know that don't know about Novica. If you would, we'd be so grateful, and help spread the word. Today we are focusing on nativities and gifts, with a little bit of an emphasis on gifts for men, which we did gifts for women last week, but gifts for men or women today. And what else? Oh, just some fabulous artisan stories. But again, join Jen in the chat right now, and she'll let you know if you win one of the $50 gift certificates. Very worth your time. Hi, Tara. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, you guys. So great to see you back. And I would love you to comment too, so I know who's watching and participating. And I'm sure some of my friends are too. And I'd love to know it. So thank you guys. That's all helping us gain visibility, of course, the chatting and the liking and the forwarding too. So more people learn about Novica and learn about fair trade, and specifically about some incredibly talented master artisans in emerging regions of the world, economically emerging, in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, which is our specialty. Artisans who otherwise wouldn't have direct access to customers. And we're changing lives together. That's what we've been doing for 24 years now. And all right, so we're going to launch right in with, oh, by the way, do you guys like this sweater? I just opened it today. Came to me from the Andes of Peru, Novica, of course. It's from Fernando Cano, who's one of my favorite alpaca artisans there. And I just love this. I thought I'd get in the winter spirit. So anyway, great sweet ski type sweater. I need to learn to ski, I guess. We're not showing that today on the checkout, but you can certainly find, look at all his beautiful alpaca sweaters online at novica.com. All right, what are we doing first, Jim? Jim's behind the scenes. Jen is in the chat.
Got the festive pups.
Oh, yes, festive pups from India, from Ashish Mehta, who's one of our amazing artisans we've talked about before in India. He works with a lot of felt. In past episodes, we've also talked, come in this beautiful bag. I just love the way all this stuff comes. This is not even gift wrap. This is just the way it comes to you, with a little gold drawstring. And look at all these little pups in there. They all come as a set. They're so adorable. We have so many customer rave reviews about these, of course. What am I looking at backwards? It's hard because what I'm looking at is backwards from what you guys are seeing. Look at all these little pups. They're so adorable. In a previous episode, we talked about how felt is made, of course, and all the labor and love involved in that. And I just love, he's got so many incredible ornaments. These puppies are just so cute. I'm going to show you all of them. They're all different. Little glass beads on the eyes. And then it's all felt. And they're all dressed differently. Is that the cutest or what? Look at these little guys. All hand stitched with all their little clothes. I think he's so cute. Oh my goodness, just adorable. So those are for Christmas trees, or of course, put them all over your house any time of year, because they could be Christmas or they could just be cute, which they are, and adorable. And I know who's getting these for Christmas. All right, what did we say about that? Lorraine purchased them. She says adorable, 5 stars. As a home shared with 4 dogs, I just had to have these. She says, well made and so cute. Arrived quickly. That one looks almost like Snoopy. Can't say Snoopy, but pretty freaking cute. And yeah, I think this is my favorite one. Oh, look at this little guy has a mask. I just noticed that. That's pretty cute too. Is that a mask? Yeah, that's a mask. And I think this one, though, is my favorite. It's just so unique. It's all wool, you guys. All 100% pure wool. Just so intricately done. He's got his little feet. Oh, they're just so precious. All hand stitched. And Ashish Mehta, let me tell you a little bit about him. He specializes in felt ornaments. So, of course, this is his time of year. So if you like those, put a few in your cart. Everything's handmade, so all limited quantities. And remember, everything right now, if you go to the first pinned link, wherever you're watching, on whatever platform, click on that, then you can still watch us, and that will be a shopping cart just of what we're showing you today, 10, 15 items we're showing you today. So you can shop really easily and automatically get 15% off everything, just if you're watching the show and shopping while we're live. On the other hand, if you're watching us after the show over the weekend, remember, of course, with today's code episode 12, the number 12, episode 12, if you use that in checkout, you can fill your cart with anything and everything you love and get 15% off too. But we would love to show some immediate sales for our artisans who are watching and who will be watching later. So yeah, use that first pin link and you can still watch the show at the same time. All right, Ashish Mehta, the artisan, he says, I lost my father when I was 12 years old. My mother worked hard and struggled so my siblings and I could have a good future. I'm very proud of her. Currently, I'm the only carver in my family, because he also does wood carvings as well as the felt ornaments. He says, I want to but I would love to teach my children. I want to spread the splendor of this art to the entire world and want people to appreciate the beauty of my work. Well, we do. So thank you, Ashish. You're one of our favorite ornament artisans. We have many, thousands of amazing artisans, but he's really mastered these ornaments. Look at this little Dalmatian's one of the guys. So they're all different. They're all handmade. Always going to look a little bit different, but you can kind of see the size. Oh, they're just so perfect. So much detail in these. All right. And in keeping with that, from another artisan in India, Rajesh Gehlot, he has done a Puppy's Christmas felted dog garland. So also all 100% wool felting, but he's also got some beads in here. I think they're glass beads. All right, so again, in a beautiful bag, great as a gift, or just great to store if you buy them for yourself or you're decorating. These could be, of course, garlanded around the tree. You buy a few or just one, or you can just hang them up at your entrance. And of course, another great year-round gift for anybody that likes dogs, because these aren't necessarily Christmas at all. And like everything from Novica, comes with a beautiful keepsake card that tells you about the artisan, Rajesh in this case, and about the particular ornaments in this bag. So yeah, all this stuff really gets passed down and shared and remembered because of that keepsake card. You're always going to know who made the ornaments on your tree. So these are, I think this is like more than 9 feet long. So it's a nice length. Look at these. These are all beautiful wood ornaments, all sewn by hand. See all that stitching detail? And then the glass beads in between. These are all little red glass beads and then red felt beads. Beautiful. Anyway, so sweet and cute. And we love that. And Rajesh, so thank you so much to these artisans who are working so hard right now. While we're chatting, they are in full production mode and so excited to get your orders. So we would love to send them some support today. And remember to join Jenna in the chat. Great way to get a $50 gift certificate to buy even more beautiful things, support even more artisans. And of course, artisans always earn full price. Whenever you see a Novica discount, artisan's price hasn't changed. We're always taking the hit when you say discount, because we're trying to, of course, always promote certain artisans and different categories of the beautiful things that we showcase. Yeah. Okay. So that's Puppy's Christmas, is what he's calling it. 112 inches long, 9.3 feet. He's an award-winning artisan designer in India. He says, I specialize in holiday ornaments, home furnishings, carpets, wall hangings, etc. But so far, our holiday ornaments have been the biggest hit with shoppers. I hope you like all our designs. We do. I think we have 2 more felt ornaments from Rajesh coming up later in the episodes that are also super cute, animal themes. So we're going to show you those to you in a bit. But a few more things to show you first. All right, next we're going to Guatemala. I think it's Guatemala. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Mexico. This stocking, we have a few beautiful stockings. You guys might recognize this type of pattern. They're called tenangas. They're from the Otomi peoples in the central plateau of Mexico, believed to be the first settlers there about 8,000 before Christ. So very, very long time ago. All pre-Hispanic culture, of course, still very active culture. The Otomi people speak, I think, somewhere around 10 different language dialects, their own language, Otomi language. And this is a very characteristic style, but always different, slightly different, even though the style is very recognizable, because every artisan will first hand draw each of these embroidered designs. These are all, every little bit of this hand stitched. And typically the Otomi styles are embroidered on kind of a off-white natural muslin cloth that they tend to use, all cotton, of course. Let me tell you a little bit about that stocking. Yeah, one of Mexico's most famous embroidery styles from Tenango de Doria in Hidalgo, Mexico. Traditional unbleached manta muslin cloth embroidered in forest green, in this case. It's about 15.75, 15 inches and 3/4 long. So it's a really nice size. Fill it with everything, hang it up. You can get a bunch of those for Christmas, and these are great gifts too. And if you're going somewhere for Thanksgiving, what a wonderful thing to show up with 3 or 4 of these for your hosts, however big their family is. And yeah, everybody, it's so fun to get a new and handmade stockings, of course, if grandma isn't doing them. All right, Marcy purchased this same stocking from Guadalupe, who's the artisan. She says, absolutely beautiful. The stocking was lovelier than I had imagined. It's heirloom quality. It is heirloom quality and a new addition to our mantle. It will be cherished and filled for years to come. Thank you. Wishing the artist who created this a blessed and Merry Christmas. Yeah. All right, let me tell you a little bit about the artisan while Jim is showing you that picture. Yeah, it is even more amazing in person. And you can see how they're all a little bit different. So the patterns very similar, but every time, as Guadalupe explained it to us, each of the artisans she works with, including herself, are hand drawing all this out and then stitching it. So it's always going to be a little different, which we love. That's one of the wonderful things about handmade. Yes. And we are all very anti-mass manufactured, as you guys know. All right, so Guadalupe says, the joy and the colors of our Otomi embroidery carry great cultural weight. And oh yeah, I mentioned to you, okay, so the culture dates back to 8,000 BC. Also, looking at my notes here, the Otomi traditionally worship the moon as their highest deity. Even in modern times, many Otomi populations practice shamanism and hold pre-Hispanic beliefs such as Nahualism, which, if I recall, I have a Nahual painting here that I've had for many years that I got in Mexico. And there's a lot about the spirit, the animal spirit guide in the Nahual belief system. So she says, while others have adopted Christianity in the wake of the conquest. So there's obviously crossover, and we're doing Christmas things too. So our artisan Guadalupe says, when we interviewed her, she says, these are embroideries that express through their colors and images the diversity that exists in the state of Hidalgo. In each of our pieces, our artisans from Tulancingo de Bravo express their states of mind, transmitting in each colorful figure the identity and virtue of our state. Every piece is born from a drawing created by the imagination of each craftsperson. So each embroidery is unique. In every characteristic design, we can find different birds, flowers, and animals. With different colors, they create cheerful scenes of our community. Recreate, yes. I also have some Atomi style cushion covers. So you'll often see this style, of course, with different animals and different foliage on bedspreads and blankets and all, clothing, all sorts of textile art. So these just happen to be for Christmas. She says, this is our history. So she's speaking about this stocking, for example. Well, the design on the stocking. This is our history. It is the identity of our community, the beauty of our Mexico, made by hand in its entirety with hours and days for its elaboration. So yes, this is something very precious. And as is everything made by hand. So as we always say, why would we buy from box stores when we can buy from artisans direct, often for less and certainly comparable prices to buying completely anonymous, mass-produced goods that don't benefit any individuals? Yeah. Okay. So that is our mission, is to help change the world through fair trade, as you know so well, because I say it every week, and because you are here to do the same thing. So thank you, everybody who's watching. We're all in this together. We're one big family doing what we can to make a difference in the world. Well, there are a lot of things we can't necessarily change ourselves. So at Novica, we chose fair trade as our all-in mission to focus 100% of our energies and our life and our careers to make an impact where we can. And that's where we can, and which we've done amazingly in 24 years to really change the landscape for artisans in the regions where we have our 10 artisan empowerment hubs around the globe, in remote regions specifically. So, all right, next, you've got to be wondering, I'm sure, about these ladies and gentlemen and animals. These are two of my favorite nativities. We have hundreds of spectacular nativities, some one of a kind, and all limited edition, of course, by the artisans who make them, every little piece painstakingly by hand. So what are we doing first, Jim? We're doing the wood, the Rejoice set. Okay, just look at the detail on this and the size of it. I mean, and the price is, of course, amazing. Imagine buying anything remotely like this in an art store, but because Novica's Artisan Direct, the artisans make more than they ever could make before, selling through many, many levels of middlemen, selling direct to you. And at the same time, as a customer, you benefit from that artisan direct shopping experience, of course, and the prices are incredible. Look at all this hand carved from wood. This is not a mold. This is not resin. This is wood that has been meticulously hand carved, and he's put felt on the bottom so it's not going to scratch anything. Just such attention to detail. And look at all this hand painting that he's done here. Anyway, just amazing. Obviously, that's one of the wise men.
And that picture didn't do it justice, because when I saw the picture and then I saw it sitting next to you, I'm like, oh my goodness, those are so big. I mean, that's a nice set.
Yeah, really substantial. And the nice thing is very unbreakable. If you have kids, it's a good set to have too. No small parts. If you worry about them falling off wherever you're displaying them, it's a little safer than some nativities might be, especially smaller nativities. Yeah, all beautifully. If you look at the perfect application of the felt too, it's really carefully done. This is the difference between handmade and mass-produced, where you'd maybe see something lopsided or imperfectly applied. But yeah, he's put a lot of love into each of these and all the details. So another one of the wise men. And then it took me a minute to figure out Joseph's. I was looking at this. It came separately, of course, and this actually comes out. And I opened the box and I was like, what am I going to do with this stick? And then I realized it's his staff, of course, his shepherd's staff. So you can actually adjust that any which way you want. That's the one kind of moving part. Anyway, just so beautiful. I mean, look at all of this work. It's just really, really phenomenal. And then it comes with two animals, of course, guarding over baby Jesus. We've got the horse, which, as you guys know, I'm partial to, being an avid horse person myself. So he is devotedly looking at Jesus there. as is the cow. We have a very cute little cow here too. I love this cow. So just very pretty and kind of a very practical set and really a statement set. And then little baby Jesus, yeah, he's in his cradle. That's all hand painted too. All his little eyelashes. So well done. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's called the Rejoice with Nativity Scenes. It's a set of 9 pieces by Jose Canil Ramos in Guatemala. So he weathers and he does everything himself, every aspect of this. He weathers and dries the pine wood during the summer months so that it won't crack. So make sure it's super dry before he starts working on it. Or we hope, generally, rarely have any issues. So far, I haven't had any with any of his sets. Yeah, he's very meticulous about everything from the harvesting and drawing of the wood pieces to the carving of them and the painting of them. Atticus purchased this. He says, extraordinary craftsmanship at such a reasonable price. The figures have real dignity. Yeah, they really do, don't they? Yeah. Just beautiful. Oh, I love all the floral designs and just all the delicate hand painting that he's done. He says, I was born on May 25th, 1981 in Chichicastenango. And I learned my craft from my father. When I was younger, Dad would only allow me to sandpaper a piece. But as I got older, he would let me paint too. It wasn't until I was much older that he finally let me carve the wood. He says, I've always loved this craft, and I used to spend hours practicing, but it meant that my schoolwork suffered and I barely managed to study. With a lot of effort and hard work, I managed to finish middle school when I was 22 years old. Excellent that he did. I remember well the first piece I ever did completely on my own. It was an angel. I put it among the things my father took to the market to sell that day, and then I lost track of it. He says, I hope it got sold to someone who appreciated it because of the time. At that time, I was only an apprentice. So now he gets to see who's purchasing. Well, at least he gets to see who's purchased his works when he sees people post that they've comments, how much they, feedback and reviews that all the artisans have their own page on Novica, their own bio on Novica, of course, and all their reviews. So when you purchase that, and then afterwards you hopefully go on and you leave a note for the artist and for other buyers too about how amazing it is and help him grow his business that way. The artisans love that. They hang on every word. So remember to, at Novica and everywhere else when you're buying artisan direct, and there's so many wonderful fair trade companies, always, when there's an opportunity, there are not too many opportunities like with Novica where you're really shopping artisan direct, but when you do, and when there's opportunity to leave a review for an artisan, wherever you're shopping, do that. They live for that. And of course, and put so much work into everything. All right. So next we are working moving on to Jade Christmas. Okay. Oh, so beautiful as well. Thailand, of course, where Celadon ceramic, and we've talked about that in previous episode about the whole history of Celadon ceramics, which is so fascinating. And Thailand's morphed it into their own thing, generally a similar shade. So this plate is actually from my own collection of Celadon. This doesn't come with it, but I needed some way to show it to you. So I looked in my cabinet for a plate that was a similar shade of Celadon green. And let's hope I don't tip this over, but are these incredible or what? Every little piece handmade by a ceramist who is then, doing the Celadon style glazing and coloration that is an oxidization method that we've talked to you guys about before. Look at the little sheep and the cow and the baby Jesus there and Mother Mary. Everybody's there. So beautiful. And with Celadon ceramics, the style is this very distinctive cracked glaze. Can you guys see that? I don't know if it will focus that close up, but there's an...
Yeah, we can definitely see the shine and everything else very...
Oh, there maybe. Can you see that crackled finish kind of on the lower part of the wing where it's not reflecting so much? Yep. Yeah, very distinctive, intentional Celadon style. It's just spectacular and considered to be, one of the loveliest forms of ceramics, and definitely it's my favorite. style. So that's from Thailand. And again, just all this attention to detail. And Celadon, the way it's fired, tends to be a sturdier ceramic too, fortunately, than a lot of more fragile ceramics. Anyway, look at that. Just so beautiful. Also, all felted on the bottom. And we put the Novica Thailand stamp because, of course, our Artisan Empowerment Hub in Chiang Mai, Thailand, checks every single piece before shipping to you. So if you love those, order them now. What a gift if you don't put them out in your own home for the holidays. Just so beautiful. So that's called Jade Christmas, and it's by an artisan named Kanda, who prefers to go by her first name. She says, I became very interested in Celadon as a result of a large collection kept by my mother. She had collected various patterns and designs, saying that they represented the wisdom of the ancient Thai people. When I studied history closely, I learned about the wisdom of our ancient peoples. They brought everyday materials such as fine clay. Of course, all this is made out of the earth, right? Clay is all a certain type of earth, which is a higher percentage of clay that we're able to make into ceramics. They brought everyday materials such as fine clay to sculpt into containers, vessels. So going way back historically, vases and so forth. You think of clay being used as a way to carry things and hold things, especially water and foods, and to store as well. And they found ways to make them beautiful and strong. And Celadon is one of those ways that was created by the genius of people that came way before us. She says, developing the folk wisdom of my ancestors through Celadon is something I'm very proud of. Another point of pride is that I have created jobs and income for our local craftspeople. I thank you for featuring my work to help spread the knowledge of Thai wisdom worldwide. Oh, yes, Kanda, it is our pleasure, and it's our good fortune to know you and to work with you, and likewise for everybody that's going to buy your beautiful ceramics. Love to see that. Yeah, if any of you have shopped from Canada or any of our other ceramic artists, post photos. Always post reviews, please, and come back to Facebook anytime. We would love you to show us some of the stuff. You can come right back into this chat and show us some of what you've purchased from these amazing artisans. Gosh, okay, now we're moving on to one that I don't have in person, but it also a completely different part of the world again. We're crisscrossing the globe with our nativities today. So we have one more nativity, I think, and that's from Mexico. From Peru, by Dionisio Rojas in Peru, Christmas in the Stone Church. Another exquisite, very elaborate. All those are little pieces. He's hand molded the clay and hand fired each of those and hand painted every little morsel of that significant church. That's about 13.75 inches high, so almost 14 inches high. So that's another significant, really significant nativity. Look at all the details in that. And of course, Catholicism and Christianity came to Peru with the conquest. So this artisan and many artisans in Peru very much meld their own traditional cultural styles and beliefs, as in the dress, for example, with the Christianity that came over hundreds of years ago with the conquest. So there you see a melding of cultures. He says, friends and family gather along with visitors bearing gifts. Each figure wears traditional Andean Highlands dress that people still wear today. Who here has traveled to Peru? Talk to us in the chat. I'm going to read it all afterwards, I promise. And I can't wait to see how. I went back again last year in December, and with my dear friend Suzette, and we traipsed all over and went back to Machu Picchu. And of course, Peru is so traditional. You leave Lima, and the minute you're outside of it, really, it's like stepping back in time. What an amazing place to visit, and to really experience traditional cultures that are in many areas are so untouched by time and modernity. It's so beautiful, and the arts thrive. And even more so now that we're helping bring some equity to the artisans there, who historically have always sold through so many middlemen that they would make pennies on the dollar and were, on average living in poverty. And we're so proud to say that through our invention of Novica's system, which was so groundbreaking in 1999, we have really managed to transform so many lives. And when I say we, I mean you and us, because without the customers that are impassioned as we are, none of this would happen. So thank you. We're all doing this together. And again, join Jenna in the chat. She's giving away Novica $50 gift certificates. So get in there with her, get in on that action, and beautiful t-shirts, new Novica t-shirts. And we'd love to share that around. And so please join her. She'll let you know after the show if you've won. And that's just randomly picked. So it doesn't matter what you say, but I would love to just hear what you guys are thinking about, what other shows you'd love to see coming up. I've got a few more gorgeous things to show you today, including earrings, of course, and some beautiful gifts for men and women. So about the Christmas in the Stone Church, Rodney purchased it. He says, beautiful work of art, beautiful piece by a highly skilled artist, exclamation mark. Such intricate detail and wonderful painting, very carefully packaged for safe arrival. Yes, that's thanks to our artisan empowerment hubs who are experts in packing and shipping and gift wrapping. The most beautiful gift wrap, I'm telling you, you'll find anywhere in the world. So highly recommend any time of the year, but certainly for the holidays to make it easier for you and to really wow with having things arrive from exotic corners of the globe and beautiful corners of the globe and different cultures and things that are so different to what we're used to seeing for Christmas, but that have such deep meanings and names attached to them and stories attached to them that you can tell for generations to come. I mean, this is what we're all about. And this is very emblematic of that experience, especially for the holidays, because these tend to be things as our jewelry that are passed down generationally. Okay, and a little bit about Dionisio Rojas in Peru. He focuses on ceramic figurines and also ceramic candle holders. Beautiful ceramic candle holders that you should check out on Novica, of course, for all your holiday gatherings and or just every day. Beautiful, beautiful handmade ceramics. Rojas sold his ceramic artwork locally as a teenager, he said, and won art contests at local, state, and national levels. As his skills progressed, alongside his wife, now he dedicates himself to his ceramic artwork, in particular creating multifaceted sculptures of churches, lamps, animals, and musicians. Yeah, so he has a lot of holiday things, but he has a lot that are good all of the year. And even, for example, this could be any time of the year. It's not so obviously red and white themed. Some of these just are beautiful statement pieces to have out on your keepsake shelf or in a corner of your room or your library room or your sitting place. What a great thing to talk about with your visitors on the holidays and at any time of the year. He says he forms his vases on a potter's wheel, while the figurines are all shaped by hand or in a handmade mold that he has carved out of wood. The pieces are fired at a temperature of 1,652 degrees Fahrenheit. When they have cooled, he paints and then protects each piece with a coat of varnish. Imagine how long it took him to make that. And if you look at that price, $129.99 and 15% off everything right now. So that makes a big difference. If you shop, just go into that first pinned link. You can purchase that right now. Or anytime over the weekend, if you go to novica.com with that 15% discount, which is only for you guys that are watching this show. Episode 12 is the code to enter at checkout for anything and everything, including this beautiful, beautiful nativity. Anyway, imagine doing all that work, all that firing, all that shaping, all that painting, and selling it for $129 and doing very, very well. Like, that's an amazing price for the customer as well as the artist. That explains our mission in a nutshell. All right, now we are moving on here. We got to keep it to, we have to keep moving today. I got to try to be done at 1 for a change. It's so hard because there's so much that I get so excited to show you guys. But we're going to try to be good today. All right, so these earrings are the ones I'm wearing. They're so elegant, and they're 100% sterling silver, 925 sterling silver. We've got these little rubber-ish or silicone caps on them to hold them on so they won't slip off. You can see those there in the picture in the detail. Look at all that detail that Neoman has put into that in Bali. And again, an amazing price. All of that is hand worked. If you guys have watched on YouTube, some of the Novica jewelry making videos. If you haven't been there, check out YouTube this weekend, and you'll see all the beautiful videos we've posted over the years of many of our thousands of artisans, at least hundreds of them at work, making their works of art. So you can really see what goes into the creation of handmade as opposed to machine-made sterling silver jewelry. It's really, that's a work of art. They're small. And anyway, that could be, not with the red and green theme, not so Christmassy that it can be worn any time of year. They're just beautiful deer, or in this case, they could be reindeer. They were designed as reindeer, but just so beautiful. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about Neowan. Has 236 5-star reviews. He's a very, very exceptional jeweler in Bali. He says, my parents changed my life by sending me to a high school, even though they never received formal education, as they themselves were pressed by harsh living conditions. Not long after I graduated from technical high school, I worked with a famous jewelry designer in Bali, where I learned about gold and silver designs. I worked there for 21 years. I wanted to explore my dreams and talents, so I started creating jewelry on my own. Yep. All right. Next up, some more ornaments with an amazing story of hope and survival and overcoming tremendous disaster. In the case of this story of these, they're called Chakudi dolls. These are a set of 9 ornaments, also by, these are by a different artisan, Asha Prabha in India. And we're showing you the white ones right now. On Novica, there's also a fuchsia color, the same in fuchsia. The white is the story behind these, they're in 1980, I think it was 1982. Let me check 2008. I'm dropping dolls here. 2018, some of the worst floods in history of the area swept through the state of Kerala. And they were all the people there were preparing for one of the most important celebrations of the year, and for which they make very distinctive saris in 2 different styles. One of the types of saris is made of this white cloth. So all the garments they were preparing to wear for the big festival were all buried in mud, as were many homes and many lives lost. And all the stores that were getting ready to sell all the saris for the festival, also just so much of it was damaged. So one person had an idea to call a Indian designer and say, what can we do to help rescue this situation and to raise some funds too, to survive this flood scenario where so many of us have been wiped out and our homes lost and lives lost and family members lost. So they started pulling all the saris they could out of the rubble, out of the mud, and sterilizing them and washing them. But they were never going to be snowy white to sell for to wear. But they cut up the bits and pieces of those saris, all the pieces that they could reclaim that were good, and now of course made out of this is several years later, so this is all made out of other sari materials, not from the original flood, but they made these dolls out of them and then sold them as ornaments. And anyway, this comes as a set of 9, I believe. Is that a set of 9 ornaments, all a little bit different, all different sizes. And they raised significant funds. I think UNESCO got involved, and I think the World Bank did too in 2018, and gifted to so many of the delegates and so forth. They gifted these Chakudi dolls. Might be Chakudi dolls. But look, all hand embroidered also. And everyone a little bit different, because of course they're all made of different parts of, in this case, sari scrap material, since the flood has passed. And these are no longer made out of the original salvaged materials, but it's become a ongoing tradition and art form now, and with a lot of deep sentiment. Let me tell you a little bit more about that, because the story is just so beautiful. So it's a story of resilience. Okay, yeah, they also come with a gift bag, beautiful gift bag, and of course the keepsake card. Let me read you a little bit. I did some more research because I really wanted to know more. So Onam is the name of that annual harvest celebration I told you about that everybody was preparing for in the state of Kerala right before the floods, and that just decimated them. So the artisan Lakshmi Menon, who came up with this idea to reclaim and resalvage the saris and make them into sellable fundraising gifts, and now they're just popular as gifts and as ornaments now years later. But her name was Lakshmi Menon, and the name Chikkadi it's short for Chendam Angalam Kudi, which translates to the child who outlived the mud. So now you know the whole story behind these. They became a viral sensation in 2018. Yeah, and today they remain a beloved art form in the region and will always harken back to that time when everybody helped each other by creating something new that wasn't traditional, but to help themselves dig out from a very dire situation. So anyway, one of our artisans continues that tradition today, and these are the beautiful results of that. So if you love those and want to hang them up and like that story and want to share it with your friends and family, remember, first pinned comment in the link, whatever platform you're watching on, you can buy those right now, 15% off. If you're watching later through the weekend, through Sunday, just through Sunday with code episode 12, everything 15% off as well if you shop on Novica.com. All right, so a little bit about Asha Prabha in India, the artisan. She says, I was born in 1948 to a very conservative family. So it was necessary for a girl to know cooking, stitching, and embroidery, apart from all the other household chores. She says, I found myself teaching stitching and embroidery to my neighbors. As the number of my students grew, so did the demand for our work. Our first customers were our many relatives and friends. Little by little, I found I was no longer only a homemaker, but also a working woman with 7 to 9 ladies assisting me. So yeah, she's a great Novica case study too, and she's becoming successful because she's able to now sell around the world to amazing customers who are as impassioned about traditional arts and cultures and also about fair trade as we are at Novica. She says, I'm very much excited to work with you, meaning Novica, and I am excited to be able to sell our designs directly to people overseas. Yeah. Okay, the next set of ornaments is from Mexico, from the Sierra family, who we've talked to you about before. It's called the Star of the East. It's a set of 6 natural onyx star ornaments by the Sierra family. They're very delicate. They're very thin, natural white onyx, which is not a solid color. You know, it's very striated because it's a stone, a gemstone. So it has very natural veins and striations in it that will make every set a little bit different. All the sizing are different, but it's a set of 6. So it's very similar to what you'll see there with the golden tassels. The largest piece is 3.2 inches. Mary says, we all share the same stars. The way the light catches these stars brings me joy every day. They are beautiful. So yeah, imagine the light shining through those, which it would. I wish I had them here to show you guys. But the light actually, you know, really catches in and shines. It kind of glows through them. A little bit about Odette, the artisan. Stone sculpting is very traditional to her region of Mexico, and her family is very famous for the quality of their work. She says, as a family that works together, we've had situations that have challenged us, such as the loss of my father this past year. It was tough, but we became stronger and made ourselves value life and its enjoyments even more. Working with you, Novica, and of course, customers around the world has been a blessing. Our goal is to learn and expand, sharing the beauty of the natural stones of our country while maintaining quality in each one of our designs, ensuring a part of ourselves as a family. So that's Odette there. All right. We're moving on to really quickly recap something we showed you last week, but I didn't have it in person, so now I do. And of course, we had to squeeze it in because it is from Uzbekistan, one of our very newest regions. I showed you guys some photos from my trip there this summer. So, and this artisan Maxim, he's a first name artisan, Maxim, in Uzbekistan, one of our first artisans who signed on there, and you can see through that. Right, so it's ceramic, and then all the detail. I mean, this is open work. It's quite spectacular. I don't know if you can see, that's all open work there. And then we described his whole story last week and how he has really kind of pioneered, at least in his area, this idea of he's painting with needles and very tiny brushes, but also using needles to do all this incredibly delicate work on this ornament. So I want to make sure you guys got to see that in person this week. All right. Next, Reindeer Games is the name of these earrings I'm wearing, which are so fun and cute and yet very elegant. You can wear these anywhere to a super dressy black tie, Christmas or New Year's, or you can wear them dressed down like I have with a beautiful handmade.
Actually, the Reindeer Games is the 4 ornaments, 'cause you already showed us the earrings.
Did I already show you the earrings?
Yes.
Did I? Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm losing track. Oh, you're right. Thanks for keeping me on schedule here. Thanks, Jim. Okay, yeah, for Reindeer Ornaments by Rajesh Gehlot. Yeah, I thought we had something else coming up from him. Yep.
We also have the lizard tails with him that we'll show in a little
Yeah, we
bit.
also got the lizard tails. And these prices are amazing. All hand stitched, all handmade. These are felted too, so they're made from wool, and the felting is a process we've talked to you about before. For those who haven't done it themselves, it's an amazing and time-consuming process and well worth it. So those are all a little bit different, of course, every time, but they come as a set of 4, also in a beautiful gift bag. And then could you show us the other set from Rajesh, which is, I think they're geckos. Yeah, reindeer game. No, they're gecko. These 3 geckos, lizard tails, set of 3 felt ornaments, also by Rajesh. And we told you a little bit about him earlier, I think. Yeah, he's in India. So very tiny glass beads for the eyes, and then all embroidery, fine embroidery, and then the intentional large stitch embroidery. So it really, the contrast stitch, so it really stands out. Love those. Imagine a tree, just all the felt ornaments we've shown you today. That would be, 4 different sets. Yeah, super cute. Super, super cute. Okay, next up, I don't know how I'm going to show you this. It's beautiful. This is very giftable. This would be a great men's gift, great women's gift, great family gift. I know we showed you all women's themed items last week, so I wanted to show in some items that can kind of cross over anybody would love. I don't think we have anything exclusively for men today, but this is a very significant. Oh my goodness, I hope I don't spill these all over. Look at this handmade Chinese checker set, all made out of onyx and marble. Oh my goodness, I wish I could tilt it so you could see all the striations. I guess you can see in that photo that Jim is showing you. But all the work put into this is just extraordinary. There's some pinkish veins going through the center of this particular piece of the onyx, and then more golden vein, very subtle hints of gold in these. I wish I could tip it up right, but I just can't. And all felted again on the bottom, so you could put it on some of your most beautiful piece of furniture and not scratch it. Yeah. This would be an extraordinary Christmas gift for any family gathering, any time of year, of course, any birthday. But with the holidays coming up, what a great thing to get as a gift for if you're going to go visit family over the holidays, to gift to maybe wherever you're going to be gathering to that family member, or to yourself. It's just so wonderful to have out both as just a work of art as well as a conversation piece, of course, because you're going to know the story about the artisan who made it, and you're going to have the keepsake card that reminds you of those details. And again, these types of art forms and gifts get passed down, as most Novica handmade works of art do. They get passed down, for sure they will be, through the generations because of the quality and the extraordinary craftsmanship that goes into them and the story behind them that gets carried along with each piece of art. So that's called Colorful Contrast. It's made of marble and onyx, made by the Sierra family in Mexico. Very richly veined marble contrasted with sleek black onyx, 3 tones of natural stone. The playing board is made of marble and onyx slabs, 60 colored glass marbles. Yeah, just beautiful. Jody says, beautiful, 5 stars, absolutely beautiful. Great gift idea and great family game for any time. We love ours and play it often. Beautifully and artistically made. I agree. So that's by the same artisan who made the stone ornaments that we just showed you previously. So yeah. All right. Okay, next we have, this is such, and remember, if you're watching right now live, go in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. I'd love to know everybody who's watching. I'd love to get to know your names. We know Deb, we know many of our followers that do chat with us, but I'd love, this is a family. We are all doing something to change the world together. We really are doing something meaningful at a time when always there's so much conflict in the world that perhaps we are not in a position to change ourselves. Sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't. But one thing we know we can always do to help change the world for the better is shop with our dollars where it counts, where it matters, where it changes lives. So that is Novica's laser focus, and all of us working here who have dedicated our lives to fair trade. We do that because it has meaning, because human beings matter everywhere around the world. And when we can elevate someone's life by simply choosing to shop here at comparable and sometimes less prices than at a big box store where nobody is being directly impacted, and except to typically not be earning fair wages in far distant lands, that's what we should do. Why would we shop anywhere else? So whether it's Novica or other fair trade goods stores, support the little guys and the small business people every chance we get. And through the magic of the internet, the equality that has the opportunity to bring, where artisans are able to earn very reasonable prices for their work, and customers are able to pay very reasonable prices to purchase them. That's what we all need to do. Let's not shop at box. Let's just make a pact right now. Let's not buy anything for Christmas, for example, or for any birthdays coming up or Thanksgiving, anything coming up right now that we could buy from somebody directly. That isn't always possible, but mostly it is. And it usually doesn't take that much looking around. We can do that. And I know I'm preaching the choir again, as usual, because that's why we're here. So if you share this broadcast with a couple friends who don't yet know all the marvels that they can purchase directly through artisans, please share it, because that's how we're going to help more people change more lives faster. And that's our mission. And I know it's yours too. So thank you, everybody who's watching. Next up, we've got a puzzle set. Oh my gosh, I recommend this. We've had this for several years, and different variations on this, different sizes, 3, 10, different sets of 10, 3, and this one of 6. The set of 6 I've recommended for years to my friends as a great, when they don't know what they're going to gift somebody. This is amazing. It's made by a lovely artist in Thailand that we've worked with for a very long time. She also hires people in her community to help her fulfill her orders. So very much fulfilling Novica's whole mission. And look at these games. These are handmade games. And look at the price on these. And imagine buying anything at your local big box store that's comparable. There just isn't anything comparable to that. So this is what we need to do, is help these incredibly talented artisans make their year by bringing them some sales right now. So if you love that, and I know somebody will, because I just think that that's one of my favorite things I've seen ever on the site in terms of just an easy, guaranteed, sure thing gift for anybody. If somebody doesn't even play games, just what a beautiful thing to have out on your table for anybody that comes along that might wish to. It's a beautiful gift to have in your home, especially if you have guests. Let's see, that's called a puzzle set of 6, and it comes in that hand-carved box. So it's just a beautiful, giftable present altogether. And remember, 15% off everything you're seeing right now, 15% off those prices if you go to the first pin link, whatever platform you're watching on, and shop while we're live. Shop directly right there in the shopping cart that we've made specially for this show. And then if you're watching us later through Sunday, go to novica.com, and our episode 12 is 15% off anything you're seeing today. All right, so that set of 6 is made by Wawrapan Kalmsuk in Thailand. Paige purchased it. She says, my dad and I always get either get each other problem-solving gifts, so I decided to get this for him for Christmas. He loved it, all capitals. We bring it out every holiday and do the puzzles together. Oh, I love hearing that. And Ra Rapon, she says, I was born in 1990 in northern Thailand. I'm the eldest daughter in the family, and I grew up with the wooden games my father crafted. I'd watched him select the wood, dry it naturally, and assemble it to complete a game. They are challenging and fun, something you'll never find in computer games. So true. What a great way to get away from our iPhone, our devices for a minute, and do something with our friends that's very engaging. Yeah, nobody's going to be checking their accounts when they're doing something that's challenging and new. And there are instructions that come with it, I believe. She says, my favorites are the wooden games because I grew up with them. They teach me to think, plan, and concentrate, and I apply these skills in my everyday life. Although technology has taken over life today, I'm still charmed by wooden games. Creating them and crafting them are the precious legacy that my father left me. So that's a wonderful story. Okay, now we're going to move on to one last type of gift we're going to show you for today. We're going to show you a bunch of them, though, all made by Armando Ramirez in Mexico, an amazing artisan. He works with recycled metal and recycled auto parts and, all recycled parts and recycled metal. And he has everything you can imagine under the sun. I think he currently has 222 unique works of art live on his Novica webpage. You can read his full bio there. I'll give you some tidbits on him, but he's just a phenomenon. Look at that deer. So that could be Christmas or any time of year. Right now it makes us think of reindeer, but that's just an exquisite work of art. So we included these thinking, well, because of the metal, there's a little more of a man's feel to these gifts, but not necessarily at all. It can be beautiful gifts for anybody. I would, any of us would just can love and appreciate all these sculptures that he makes by hand. Just amazing. Okay, so this one is called Mechanical Deer. Kathleen purchased it. She says, and remember, 15% off everything you're seeing right now. And we've got some coming up in all price ranges for him, some much less and some a little more, depending on how detailed they are. I'm going to show you a whole bunch, and I have one here in person that's got a really funny story to it. So I'm going to tell you about that too. What he specializes, Jim and I were chatting about this earlier. He specializes in giftable sculpture, little statuettes for whatever career path your friends are in. So he's got sculptures for doctors and dentists and baseball players and, of course, lots of animals too. But really, every career path under the sun, he's got you covered. So go check out his whole collection. I'm going to show you a bunch of them in just a minute here. And again, if you're shopping right now while we're live, 15% off everything. And if you're shopping over the weekend, watching this after the fact, which most people do, 15% off with episode 12 as your code when you're checking out. He has 222 unique sculptures live right now for the holidays, from helicopters to motorcycles to teachers to musicians and animals. It's really made something for everybody. Okay, so this one, Kathleen purchased it. It's, by the way, about 13.5 inches high, that stag or deer or reindeer. And you can see the bicycle chain that he's incorporated in that. Kathleen says, I'm always blown away by the talent and detail in Armando's sculpture. This stag is no exception. I love the creativity and all the detail of each part. I have several of his sculptures now, and each of them is wonderful. 5 stars. Absolutely. All right, we're going to show you a bunch of others here really quickly because I want to just roll through these, and we promise we're going to get out in just 5 minutes. We're going to be done today, almost on time. Okay. Is this adorable? So that's good for anybody. That's good for a young couple. That's good for your grandparents. That's good for anybody who's in love, right? I mean, isn't that all of our dream? I'll tell you, that's always been my dream. It's always been my visualization every time, like, well, I've got 2, but every time the clocks all line up, 11:11 or 12:12 or what is it? Your watch goes to 3:33. Some of us love to make a wish, or you blow out the birthday candles. And so I always had 2 wishes. And one of them is to be that person, that old person on the park bench with my arm around my partner and vice versa. And that, I think, is a very universal dream for so many of us. So what a beautiful gift for anybody, that has that dream too. Um, so $44.99 handmade unique sculpture by Armando. Just exquisite. I was mentioning to you, he really has all price ranges covered. So special. Okay, so there's that Park Bench Sweethearts. All these right now you can check out and purchase. And if you're watching later through the weekend, go to Novica.com, look them up by name. You'll find them super easily under Armando Ramirez's sculptures. And then order the premium gift wrap. It's so inexpensive and it's so exceptional. It's the most exceptional gift wrap you've ever seen. It's all region themed and just all is part and parcel to what Novica does so magically to make the holidays and gifting in general and decorating your own life and your own world and what you wear, what you have in your home. So special. So anyway, what else do we have? We've got next the rustic baseball players. So yeah, I know a baseball enthusiast who would love this recycled metal sculpture. And yeah, I mean, isn't that amazing? And look at the prices, you guys. It's just so amazing. Artisan Direct comes with a keepsake card. Your purchaser, or your gift recipient will know who made it, a little bit of biography about them, and know the name of this rustic baseball player, read a little bit about the thought behind it that the artisan had. And then there's some, you can show a few others too, Jim. I'm going to read a little bit about the artisan Armando Ramirez. He said, as a child, I enjoyed inventing toys. Oh yes, I have this one. This is called Rustic Psychotherapist. This is the one I actually have in person. And look at the detail in that. It's all welded and it's just phenomenal. These look like, are these spark plugs? Oh, maybe not spark plugs, but all recycled parts. And look at this little tiny rebar. Just so amazingly done. We just love him. He's such a popular Novica artisan from Mexico. He's really made a name for himself. And you can see why. So that's just the one. So if you have a friend who is either a psychotherapist or needs one, that's probably all of us. That would be a great gift. Either serious if they are one, or fun if they need one, as in the case of so many of us. All right, let's see. He says, as a child, I enjoyed inventing toys and soon yearned to create a unique style of art. Environmentally enamored, I now transform recycled goods. He says, I've been working with you now, Novica, since 2002, so almost since we launched. I consider you as part of my own family. We're still working here in the same workshop where we began, but we've expanded the workspace and are growing as needed to keep up with the demands for our sculptures, chess sets. He also does metal chess sets and decor accents. Yeah, he does so much amazing stuff. My sculptures are rustic in nature, designed to reutilize discarded objects by converting them into art. And that one, I think, yeah, rustic anesthesiologist. Like I said, he's got one for every career path. So whoever you know that you're trying to figure out what to buy a gift for right now, he's got their sculpture. He's got 222 mostly career themed handmade works of art that he does in his little studio in Mexico, all recycled metal. So it's also got that environmental component that is so important to us at Novica, and that we really, really encourage artisans to focus on as well, as much as possible, and the customers too, of course. And so this one, of course, golf. We all know a golfer, don't we? I do. And yeah. Okay, so guess what? That's it for today. We're only like 3 minutes over. It's a miracle. That's challenging. Yeah, so as usual, let's make a pact right here and right now. We're going to go out today. We're going to do something meaningful in addition to purchasing fair trade, which we always do. And remembering no box stores for holidays this year, or birthdays, or Thanksgiving gifting. Let's buy from people where we're changing their lives by supporting them rather than a big box store. Let's do that. Let's all agree to do that. But moreover, that's of course what we're doing. But moreover, let's go out today, like we always do at the end of every episode, and think hard about whose life we can change within our own circle of people close to us, and mend that bridge that needs to be mended. Send out the olive branch. Today's the only day we know we've got. We've got to make the most of it. None of us know if we're here tomorrow. We're here today. We've got to make a difference today. And we've got to make a difference in our own lives too. So the world can't be fixed until we find ways to fix our own lives as well. So let's focus on the inside as we focus on the outside. All right, that's it for me today. I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. I think we're going to feature earrings next. I think we're going to do a whole bunch. I think we have 10 different sets of earrings. Hopefully that's next Thursday, but I'm not sure yet. But we'll keep you posted here on whatever platform you're watching on. We'll make sure to update you in advance so you can tune in. And thank you, everyone who's watching now live, and everybody who's coming over the weekend. We get thousands of people over the weekend coming to watch the show, and we're so grateful for that. And let's go out in the world and change it together. Let's do what we can to make the world a better place, because there is something we can all do in the midst of whatever's going on out there that we feel hopeless about and helpless about. There are things we can do immediately in our own lives to make a difference and help others. So let's do that. All right, that's it. Over and out. See you next time.